Legacy Open back.
Baltimore.
Was it in Baltimore?
Yeah, he won.
So,
hometown hero Paul Lynch, and hopefully we can get him in a feature match at some point today. Especially if he's if that Enchantress deck proves to be as scary as Nguyen was suggesting.
So in the meantime,
if you're just joining us, it's Big Head Joe, SCG Live, bringing you live coverage of the Washington, D.C. Legacy Open Series. I'm here with my best friend and co-host of YoMTG Taps, Joey Pasco. We're watching the second round matchup between David Price and Gerrard Fabiano. And we do not have their deck lists yet, but I will tell you what they're playing as soon as I get those. Gerrard is rocking the Legion events sleeves.
Yeah.
Once again, will Adam Heisman please report to the judges station?
Adam Heisman, will you please go to the judges station and turn their microphone down?
Players, many of you have a sheet of paper in front of you that says to please do not begin playing.
Yo, we should go, like, next time they make one of those announcements, we should grab the microphones, go over there right up in their faces and be like, oh yeah, like to start doing coverage, like right up on them.
I don't think that's going to be effective. Also, it wouldn't be on camera, unfortunately.
Please wait for the judge to come over. You will bring your opponent.
Obviously, grabbing the microphones wasn't a realistic scenario.
Right on.
They're not wireless.
It's true. So while we're waiting for the guys to shuffle up and get started, and we're also waiting on some deck lists. I wonder what Gerrard's playing. I can't remember. Did he mention yesterday what he was playing?
Feud Killer's Verdict.
Feud, yeah, he's playing Feud and Gaia's Liege and Hidden Path. Something about giants.
So Feud Killer's Verdict is 4 white, tribal sorcery giant. You gain 10 life, and if you have more life than an opponent, put a 5/5 white giant warrior creature token onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
From Morningtide.
Oh, there we go. There
we go. We got some lists now.
All right, so Fabiano playing Counterbalance. That's what I thought he said. Creatureless Counterbalance, possibly, unless he just didn't raise his creatures underneath the...
He's got a future sight in there.
Yeah, so he's playing 2 Jace the Mind Sculptor, Wrath of God, 4 Counterbalance, 3 top. It's interesting, only 3 top. 1 Future Sight, which is interesting with Counterbalance.
Yeah.
4 Swords to Plowshares, 4 Enlightened Tutor, 4 Force of Will, 4 Brainstorm.
All right, attention, Magic players.
Wow, that's
Thank you
loud.
very much for your patience. Welcome to round number 2. You have 15 minutes for this round. Please begin.
All right, so wow, they called a judge already. You may begin.
Right.
Judge. Yeah, I know. Right. So 4 Enlightened Tutor, 4 Force of Will, 4 Brainstorm, a Moat, a Blood Moon, an Aura of Silence, a Pithing Needle, 2 Thopter Foundry, 2 Engineered Explosives, 2 Ensnaring Bridge, 1 Sword of the Meek. And he's got Caracas, some Academy Ruins, and looks like some duels, duels and basics. David Price, who is not the David Price, looks to be playing... what's that?
I'm just looking. Okay, they've already checked his list, so it's fine. But that looks like Arid Risa.
Oh well, what's an Arid Risa? Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's obvious that he just scribbled it.
So David Price list. He's got 4 Tarmogoyf, 4 Knight of the Reliquary, 3 Terravore, 4 Ponder, 4 Stifle, 4 Brainstorm, 4 Swords to Plowshares, 4 Ether Vial, 3 Spell Pierce, and 4 Force of Will. Yeah, Fabiano's list does sound very close or identical to a list that did well in Indianapolis. In Legacy, clearly not standard. So, Gerrard Fabiano, did he mulligan? I only see 6 cards there. Oh, did he just grab his 7th, or grab? I mean, no, he couldn't have. That was his top card. I'm just trying to figure out. Did he mulligan?
Did he mulligan? Did we miss that?
Yeah, I mean, he said he never mulligans. He may have actually mulliganed. We'll have to ask him.
So we get to see if Fabiano mulliganed. I imagine he did, but he did.
Mr. I Never Mulligan.
Mr. I Never Mulligan. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well,
yeah, so he gets a turn 1 top.
We're not gonna let him live that down.
An unmulligan here, and something of an unmulligan. Right? Okay, at least fix your draws. Yeah, it does. David Price's list sounds like the New Horizons list,
Yeah.
but with Aether Vial. Thanks to Gabe Lanciano for giving us some tips on Twitter. I couldn't remember New Horizons.
Yeah, I know.
The name. I was like, I know this.
Also.
I know this is another name.
I definitely recognized the deck list when we looked at it, but for some reason.
So there's a
they
turn
were
2
debated.
Tarmogoyf. And Gerrard fetches a tropical island. He's got
Engineered
it. Yeah,
explosive.
engineered explosives.
Got it set on 2, right? Seems right. Rising Canopy jumps in. Knight of the
Knight of the
Reliquary.
Reliquary.
Goyf is right now just a 1-1 or a 1-2 rather. I imagine. Oh no. Well, Fabiano's graveyard is off camera. He has a fetch land out there, at least one. So. So a 2/3 turbo comes in for 2. That's so funny. Why would you run Day of Judgment over Wrath of God in the sideboard in Legacy?
I don't know. It's what he wants to be able to regenerate his non-creatures, the no creatures he's running. What fetch land did Gerrard Fabiano use? We can't see it. It's under his name actually, but
I think it was an error. No.
How could it have been an Arid Mesa? That's what the question is. MTG Radio on Twitter asking, did Fabiano use Arid Mesa to fetch a tropical island?
That's a good question.
Well, I mean, if it's an Arid Mesa in his graveyard, I believe that may be what he did. He definitely got a tropical island on turn 2. I didn't happen to catch the fetch land that he used, though. I'm pretty sure it was 2. He didn't drop a game in the top 8, that's right.
That was Gerrard.
Oh, you're saying Alex, right? I'm sorry. Jerry, okay.
Yeah, Jerry.
You started saying Alex, that's what it was. It was Jerry. Jerry did not drop a game in the top 8.
I think he may have fetched up a tropical island with an Arid Mesa.
Take 2 damage.
I mean, and again, Gabe on Twitter giving us some commentary, but essentially, the Day of Judgment is functionally the same as Wrath of God, because really what creatures are being regenerated in Legacy? There's not really.
Yeah,
nobody's regenerating Tarmogoyf.
It's definitely valid.
Right, or goblins. So it's pretty.
I guess it's kind of irrelevant.
It doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So David has a turn 4 Terravore, and with a Knight of the Reliquary on the board, which is now active, and I would expect him to activate that Knight at some point in the near future before he untaps. And Gerrard, meanwhile, is making decisions like countertop decks do.
Okay, just crack
got,
punishment for
yeah.
planes. He just played something. I don't know what.
Enlightened Tutor?
Was it? Okay, it was probably Enlightened Tutor.
Yeah. So here he's got the counterbalance sitting there. He's looking at his hand. Says, "I'm getting counterbalance." Seems good.
Seems pretty good.
To put together his combo. It's got the top. It's got an engineered explosives on 2, which can help him out.
But he wishes he had it on 3 right now.
Yeah, well, it would be a little better, but it's relevant enough against the Tarmogoyf. So he untaps and now thinking about his play. I mean, you play the counterbalance, right? I mean, I don't know what else is in his hand, but I would think the counterbalance would be there. Why else? Why would you tutor for it if you didn't want to play it? So maybe he just wanted to figure out his land drop. He's got an Academy Ruins now in play.
Okay, I see he has 1 Wrath of God and 1 Day of Judgment. So
yeah. He's protecting from Memoricide.
Yeah, or something like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some similar effect.
It might be just what he was able to grab. Yeah, extra pay.
You know,
right.
Put it in the graveyard.
Just playing the percentages, just the little minute differences there. Because if somebody does decide to extirpate or Haunting Echoes or something while he has 1 in the graveyard, it's probably unlikely, but hey, why not? And it might just be what he found. You know,
yeah, it's true.
He had a Wrath of God and just needed something else, another Wrath, and we're like, well, how about a Day of Judgment? So he does land the countertop.
Reasoning later.
He lands the countertop and Price brainstorms. Actually, maybe he did not land the counterbalance. That's probably on the stack right now, and I believe Price may be brainstorming to try to grab a Force of Will or a blue card to pitch to Force of Will. I didn't see his hand, so I just will assume he's digging to try to counter that counterbalance. Yeah, there it is. So does Gerrard have an answer? I think he does not, because one, I can sort of see his hand, and secondly, you think he would just kind of say, yeah, I have the backup for that.
Well, he did also just say that he might just slow roll his opponent for the camera.
It's true.
But I also think he was joking about that.
Yeah.
Still. 3 brainstorms in David Price's graveyard. Oh, he removed the stifle from the game, okay. I was wondering why the stifle was sitting there. Or is that... I'm sorry, or is that 2 brainstorms? I think it's 2 brainstorms and a Force of Will in the graveyard.
David Price untaps with a board full of guys.
I mean, I saw Wasteland, but I might be wrong.
Well, there's 1 in play.
He already does have 1. I think I just saw him draw a 2nd. Which could be pretty quick.
Yeah, and he's in a good position right now. Oh well, he's going to lose his Goyf, you know, if it becomes too much of a problem.
Right.
So it looks like he is going to wasteland something. There, probably Academy Ruins, yeah. And
yep, there's second wasteland. Oh, wasteland.
Maybe decide to use it.
A decent turn.
Yeah.
Pumps both of his guys.
Yeah, he's checking to see the size of that Tarmogoyf. And he goes ahead and cracks it to get rid of that Goyf.
Yeah,
still facing down, yeah, some fat guys there.
The Knight of the Reliquary pumps for each land card in David's graveyard, and the Terror Board pumps for each land card in all graveyards. So 2 pretty big creatures there that he's facing down.
Which he can also crack a wasteland
Right.
And pump the knight again.
Pump both.
Yeah, exactly. Pump both.
Yeah. Destroy
He
target land.
also can crack his
creatures get +1/+1.
horizon canopies.
Wow.
So he's drawing a card off the horizon canopy. So he pumps both of his guys just with
I don't
that.
think that's going to be it. Can't imagine it going much longer.
Yeah, I
than
can't
that.
see how many lands are in each player's graveyard. There's an Academy
There's
Ruins.
at least 2 in
and
Fabiano's.
2 fetch lands, so there's 3 in Fabiano's. I think it's 2 fetch lands, Polluted Delta, and possibly Arid Mesa.
Oh, right.
And Academy Ruins. So we've got three lands in his graveyard.
Okay, he's not even destroying a land. He's... Wait.
He,
He
he
I see
cracked
what
it
he
to
did.
destroy his own
He destroyed his own canopy so that
So
he
he
could
could-
have the maximum amount of value out of it.
for the knight. Yeah.
Right, for the knight.
And to make the knight bigger than it would have been if he had cracked it. He had cracked the wasteland on Fabiano's land.
Exactly.
The
Well-
Terrorboard gets the bonus either way, and the knight only gets it from David's graveyard.
So far, we've renewed the curse.
Well, we didn't choose Fabiano. That's the other
That's
thing.
true.
The
Well,
curse
we would
only
have if
applied-
given a choice.
I think we would have chosen.
We would have
Fabiano.
chosen him if given the
So,
choice.
When we said slow roll, or when he said slow roll, I didn't think he meant slow roll his wins. All right, so how's the sideboard go here? He's got a Croson Grip for divining tops, and I'm talking about David Price here.
Yeah.
Croson Grip having a split second, and can take out artifacts and enchantments, so that's good against the counterbalance top list. I mean, that's the most obvious thing for him to bring in.
Yeah.
Thrun obviously can't be countered, so that's good against counter help. He's got 3
Wow.
Thruns. He's also got a Spell Pierce.
Fabiano has a Serenity in his sideboard.
I don't even remember what that does.
It says at the beginning of it's a white and 1. It's an enchantment.
From Weatherlight and
At the
6
beginning of your upkeep, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. They can't be regenerated.
Yeah, well, that's nice against Enchantress.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. For sure.
Maybe against some sort of mirror match, just so he can, possibly play Serenity and then land his own stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's bringing that in.
No. That's an interesting choice though for a countertop deck. You know what I mean? Like I feel.
Well, yeah, you'd think it wouldn't, but he's only got 1, right?
Right.
Yeah, you'd think it would be something he wouldn't want to do because it would hurt him. But I'm just thinking it's a mirror, helps in the mirror. But in this particular matchup, he's unlikely to bring that in. But
Well, sure.
looking at David Price's sideboard first, Croson Grip is the obvious one. Thrun is probably a decent idea for just the fact that he can't counter it even with counterbalance. And then it can't be Swords to Plowshare, so it seems like Thrun would be a decent choice. Other than that, he's got Spell Pierce, Caracas, Path to Exile, and Ghostly Prison. I don't expect him to bring any of those in. He didn't see any creatures from Gerrard, and
Right.
Gerrard has a Baneslayer Angel, two Baneslayers in his sideboard, and an Aethersworn Canonist. But other than that, no creatures in the 75. So I would not expect the Ghostly Prison or
I think
the Path
Fabiano
to
definitely
Exile.
brings in the Tormod script though.
Tormod script. Huh?
Yeah.
That seems like really good.
Yeah. It's like, oh, guess what? Oh,
Oh, look at that.
yeah.
Nice tokens there.
Plug. I didn't quite see the context there, but
He was just like, check out these awesome tokens. That's awesome. Here, you can have them back. Fabiano's to go. I shouldn't have mulliganed. I knew I shouldn't have mulliganed. So,
if you would like to get in on our second draft open of the day, there are only 10
Fabiano.
spots left.
It's like a
Again, the
sideboard.
second draft open is almost full. If you want to sign up and play at 2 o'clock, then come around and get signed in.
he's got Wheel of Sun and Moon in the sideboard. To hate out Dredge.
But it seems like it could actually be relevant against David as well. Put those
Yeah.
lands on the bottom of his library instead.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, so he probably brings that in and Tormod script in.
What about Humility? Suddenly, those guys aren't so frightening. But then again, wait, they just they lose all abilities. So
Yeah, well, I guess he could bring in humility too. Well, you got a decent little package there. I think he probably brings in all 6 of those.
That whole
cards
column.
there.
So you see the 2 Baneslayers, Day of Judgment, Humility, Aethersworn Canonist. And
Okay,
Tormod's
maybe not the
Crypt.
Canonist,
That's
but you
why
know
I
what
was
I
a
mean.
little-
I wasn't
I don't
looking at
think
this Canonist.
Yeah, but we
I
gotta
thought
see-
that I thought the Wheel of Sun and Moon was on that column too.
Oh, I see. Okay, so yeah. Probably not Croson Grips. That's probably for the mirror as well.
Yeah.
Ley Line of Sanctity, no. So he's it looks like Baneslayers are decent ideas. Day of Judgment, Humility, Tormod's Crypt, and Wheel of Sun and Moon. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So I don't know if he has that much room to maneuver as far as that goes.
Okay, so Fabiano looks like he has a blue heavy hand here. He's got Tundra Island, I think 2 Brainstorms. I almost think I saw 2 Force of Wills. And it starts with an Aether Vial.
Definitely.
Well, I think you forced the vial.
Yeah, so this is something apparently a little different in the New Horizons list.
I think he would.
But being such a good card, it can't be that shocking.
Right.
It's not like you just played Mortar Pod.
Hey, let it resolve.
Yeah, lets the Vial resolve and goes with a counterbalance on turn 2. That counterbalance does not help against the Vial, though.
No.
Maybe he doesn't have Force? I see
I almost
Tarn.
swore I saw. I mean, he's got swords to deal with whatever creature
Right.
comes down.
He's got Swords, he's got Scalding Tarn, he's got Polluted Delta, he's got at least a Brainstorm. Look at that. And Jerry T walks by with his trophy.
Right. So we've got 2 Ensup Peaks there. Jerry's getting his picture taken with his trophy, and Joey hopped up to take a couple pictures himself. So Fabiano has brainstormed. End of turn, and now he draws his card. Draws the swords back. Alrighty, so David vials in a Tarmogoyf.
Again.
We just got the affirmative from
Evan
Irwin that he won his 2nd round as well. Okay, so Fabiano's sitting on a counterbalance, but counterbalance doesn't do anything against the vial, so I wonder what his angle is here. Now, I mean, obviously he can swords the Tarmogoyf if he wanted to. Doesn't seem like the Goyf is too big of a threat yet, but he has the swords for when it becomes one.
There he goes. Going for the sword.
Yeah, he's going for it. And what's going on here? Is it a brainstorming response or no? Oh, he's got Spell Pierce.
Yeah, here's a good point. Thrun regenerates. So Wrath of God would be better than Day of Judgment.
Yeah, not a bad point at all. He's gonna. I mean, he's gotta. I don't know. Does he pay? He just wasted his swords. I think he pays here.
You mean waste? You mean Spell Pierce? Did you say wasted?
I mean, he played a sword.
Mm-hmm.
And,
you're saying
and
if
then
he doesn't
David
pay,
spell
it's a waste,
pierce.
right.
I didn't mean waste land. I meant like he blew his removal spell if he doesn't pay for the spell pierce, and a second spell pierce will counter these swords successfully.
Give me a good trophy pose, you know. Like, that works.
He has a lot of practice doing those trophy poses.
That's right. Getting better and better. Getting better.
Yeah. Are you gonna take a picture of the picture on your phone with your
and then I'm gonna tweet it.
Phone?
Yeah.
Wow, that's some next level picture taking right there.
It is. I'm gonna see if it looks right. Should.
Yes. Beautiful. Joey's doing some next level tweeting here.
You guys, anybody following us on Twitter will be able to see Jerry's trophy pose in just a few moments. But if you aren't on Twitter, I will.
His exclusive SCG Live trophy pose.
Yeah.
His outtake trophy pose that will not.
I'll put it up sometime this week as well on.
So we got a Terravore
on our site. So.
David has cracked a windswept heath to find another tropical island. All right, let's see what's going on here. So, David swings in with the Terravore and the Tarmogoyf. Things are not looking good for Fabiano this game. I don't know if he has a force, but I think he really should have countered that Aether Vial. But who am I to judge?
Yeah, did he miss? Why didn't he at least counterbalance? You know, use the counterbalance for those spell fuses.
Ladies and gentlemen, registration for the 2 o'clock
Valid point.
is now closed.
Huh. And here comes Thrun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And then Gerrard top decks Day of Judgment. Actually, that would actually not be bad because. Okay, I was just saying because
you could straight counter it and then.
Can't counter Thrun.
Oh no, that's right. Good point.
But Day of Judgment actually would work since there's no mana there available for him to regenerate. Yeah, he's saying it can't be countered, and he's like, yeah, but counterbalance. He's like, no, but it can't be countered, like even by counterbalance.
That's not split second. Yeah, split second.
So how come there are some cards that can be countered?
It's like I think the thing is like split second cards can be countered by counterbalance.
Oh, okay, that's
it's not that they can't be countered, it's just that they can't be responded to, but triggers can happen. So counterbalance triggers, and it can counter the spell, right?
Sense. Right. Makes perfect sense. I just couldn't think of the instances where, like, you know, stuff that normally can't be countered can be by counterbalance. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's
split second.
Yeah, if something just says it can't be countered, it can't be countered. I mean, if you're doing anything that says counter target spell or counter that spell, you know, counterbalance can't counter it, so.
Right. Okay, so Fabiano casts Humility, and that'll slow things down a little bit. And David flashes in, or vials in, rather, a Knight of the Reliquary.
Yeah, Humility makes Thrun a little bit less threatening.
Yeah. That's one way to go about it, I suppose. What's up, bro? Doing all right? Doing all right so far? Got Kurt Spice here.
Kurt Spice. So you've top 8'd a couple of these, haven't you?
Why don't you come sit down? I'm gonna step out for 2 seconds.
Okay, cool. So Kurt Spice in the booth, local player who has triple qualified for the next Pro Tour, isn't that right?
Yeah.
You don't seem as impressed as everybody else, right?
About rating. Probably just.
What was it? It was rating, a PTQ, and Grand Prix. Wow, that's pretty good.
I'd rather just single qualify for 3 Pro Tours. But,
it seems fair.
Sure, I wanted to play this deck, but I just I couldn't figure out a good version of it. So.
What, counterbalance?
Yeah, counterbalance with moat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm playing this pile.
What are you playing?
The junk and taxes deck.
Okay, and you don't like it, or you just don't?
I just don't like playing Tarmogoyf and attacking. I don't know.
No, I see. Yeah, just not your style.
Mangara is just so slow sometimes. But I mean, the deck's doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're 2-0 so far, right? What have you played against?
Some aggro elf deck and that Imperial Painter deck.
Okay.
He boarded into show and tell Emrakul game 2, but I just went turn 1 Caracas. I'm playing 3 of them.
Good luck with your Emrakul.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, Fabiano's got a moat and a humility on the board to kind of make David Price's entire board state seem not so threatening, because all those are just some 1/1s. He's got a 1/1 Thrawn and a 1/1 Tarmogoyf, and
he's gonna disenchant or something. Is Dave Price still playing New Horizons?
It's New Horizons, and he's got Aether Vial in it.
Which, it's Super New Horizons?
Yeah. And then there's a Blood Moon to make David Price's lands a bit humble.
Yeah.
David Price is forget it. Go on to game 3. That looked really bad for Fabiano earlier, because before he hit the humility and the moat and then the Blood Moon, it was just he had
just getting beat down by green guys.
Yeah, it was he had a turn 2 counterbalance and really nothing. And I think he tried to swords a Tarmogoyf, and it got double spell pierced, and he didn't even I think he missed the blind counterbalance.
I saw a Baneslayer Angel there.
Yeah, Fabiano does play Baneslayer in his sideboard, so
pretty sick.
Pretty interesting there, especially considering David Price has yet to see a creature out of Fabiano's list, so he's probably not expecting anything.
That.
Yeah,
just boarding in some Baneslayers when you're trying to Thopter them out.
Yeah, so. Have you played? What other kind of legacy builds have you played around with, or were you considering instead of these two?
I hadn't really considered much. I like the Junk and Taxes deck, just because I really like Mother of Runes right now, and Aether Vial is good. But I didn't really want to play any tribal decks right now. People are just too prepared for them with explosiveness, or not explosive, plague and stuff like that.
Yeah, engineered plague.
Yeah. So yeah, I just didn't really like the other tribal decks, and I just couldn't find a control deck that I liked either.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm very attracted to counterbalance, but there's so many decisions, and I know I'm sure the first time I play it's going to take me 2.5 hours for one game, so just go to time. Or obviously I don't think I'd play it for the first time in a tournament, but
yeah, I would definitely play if I were to play counterbalance, I would definitely be playing Thopters. I love the Enlightened Tutor deck. I played that deck last year.
Yeah.
And I love that deck.
How did you do in Standard yesterday?
I got 14th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I kept seeing your name near the top, but I had forgotten how you ended up.
Yeah.
What were you playing with?
Cargo.
Okay.
Just
surprise.
Nothing really changed. I was playing a Sword of Vengeance, which won me basically all 5 of my mirror matches.
That's pretty cool. That's the way to break the mirror. Did you hear? Has anybody else been doing anything like that you noticed, or was that something that you kind of?
I mean, Jerry T kind of broke the mirror with Collar Spark Mage.
Right. But I mean, with the Sword of Vengeance plan, was that something that you just kind of?
I saw one other guy with it. He was running the version with Student Warfare, the less controlling version. But other than that, I didn't really see it at all. I also had a Mirror Angel on the board, which is pretty good because a lot of people like to tap, they'll play a Squadron Hawk on turn 3 or something, because they can just keep up a Spell Pierce and just be safe. But you can just slam a Mirror Angel.
Right.
And that blocks the worst case scenario, they Jason bounce it, and then you just replay it and then play a land and you get a guy.
Right.
So it's just really hard for them to counter. And as soon as it sticks, you get a blocker every turn, so it makes all their swords bad. So if they have Sword of Vengeance, it's really bad, but nobody really had that card.
Yeah.
Luckily. So everybody just had a Body and Mind and a Feast and Famine, so you just get a blocker every turn. and it just lets you set up Feast and Famine and Sword of Vengeance, and you get to play, double the spells basically.
Right. What did you cut? I guess what did you cut to make room for that sword?
I didn't play any Body of Mines.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really like that card too much. Like I had a second Sword of Feast and Famine in my board, but I didn't like Body of Mine at all.
I see. So was the Sword of Vengeance main, or was it just?
Yeah, it was main.
So you went Feast and Famine, Vengeance. Did you play Life Staff?
I had a Life Staff in the board.
Okay.
And then besides that, I played 2 Tumble Magnets main. Mm-hmm. Just to make the Boros matchup better, and it's fine in the mirror when you're on the play because it stops their turn 2 Stoneforge stuff.
Yeah. Seems like a plan.
So I just played a couple less counter spells. I only played 1 mana, but and other than that, it was close enough to the stock list.
For the third round,
A couple of big cards.
What did you end up losing to?
I lost to Mono Red. This is a really bad matchup.
What was your record? X and 2, I guess. They had 14th. And
8-2.
Yeah.
And then I lost to Ben Weinberg playing for top 8.
Oh yeah.
So that matchup's really bad. I could have definitely won game 3, but he missed some land drops, so he was stuck on 3, and I was just bashing with a Stoneforge and a Feast and Famine. But I had literally nothing else going on. I had 3 removal spells in my hand and lands, and then he played 3 coming to play tap lands. I was Radiant Ravine, Copperline Gorge, Helmar Depth. I Tectonic Edged them all, but then he hit an island and just played Jason. I just didn't have a counter spell.
Wow.
I just didn't draw a counter spell that game. It was just
sounded like it would be something that would have, to Tectonic.
It's the perfect, that's the only thing you can do to actually win that matchup. It's just a terrible matchup, and I thought I had him, but yeah, I just didn't hit a counter spell. So it was unfortunate, but Rug was definitely the right deck to play yesterday. So I definitely got to give those guys credit, Alex and Ben Weinberg.
It seems like Jerry he wasn't, or apparently Ben Hayes and Drew weren't too confident of the Rug matchup for Jerry either, but I guess maybe having the bolts available for the Cobras and things.
The fact that deck actually has removal spells for a Cobra is nice. The only thing I had was Oust.
Yeah.
And that's not even that good. But yeah, being able to actually remove the Cobras is awesome.
So
the only thing they were missing was Tectonic Edge, and oh well.
Right, and that was what we kept talking about. Is it worth cutting the Tectonic Edge? Jerry obviously thinks it was, and
it
for
was
good reason.
Right for this tournament because people weren't really prepared for it. It still might be right.
All right.
I'm not sure.
Magic players in competitive draft number 1.
So Price leads off with an Aether Vial for the second game in a row. Fabiano on the draw plays a top and then a land.
He knew he was playing top, but
couldn't figure out which land he wanted to play. Right. Wasteland on the tropical island, and in the second Wasteland for David Price, and puts a counter on the Vial. So Fabiano is.
Fabiano took that game.
Yeah, Fabiano.
Yeah.
Is now.
This game's looking rough now.
Yeah, he's. Despite the fact that he looked like he was trying to figure out what land to play turn 1, he doesn't seem to have a second land drop. Oh, there it is. Okay, maybe he was still in his upkeep. That's what it was. So he plays the plains.
Okay.
Okay. Vial out of Tarmogoyf and play another.
No, this is turn 3.
Oh, that's what it was. He did miss his second land drop.
He
just didn't do anything. Okay, that's what it was. Joe, your turn.
You need to step up a second. Order.
What's going on, BHA?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
Not bad.
Good. I imagine that Joey made you aware of the protocol, right? Just to make, that's the main one I think to focus on. So how did I know I stepped out for a second. How did Fabiano take that match?
I didn't watch it all. I came in when he had a moat, but Joey was saying.
Oh, so he dropped a moat. Okay.
Yeah, he dropped the moat, and then he dropped the humility, and then he dropped the blood moon, and he couldn't cast any more spells. He had just locked out of the game at that point.
Pretty awesome. Okay, great. So Fabiano's brainstorming now, and we see Flooded Strand, Day of Judgment, and something else. So what are you playing today?
Junk and Taxes, like that. It's like Junk, but with Aether Vial and Mother Runes and Mangara, Corridor.
Awesome.
Unfortunately. I don't love the deck, but I just couldn't find a Jace deck. Like I would love to play Gerrard Fabiano's deck, but I just I couldn't figure out like a good version to play, and I was beat from yesterday, so I decided to play this deck. Gerrard seems to be hitting some lands, so hopefully he can get back into this game. I know he has a moat in hands, I think. That's what it was, so. We're gonna see how everybody's doing.
Sounds good. Well, let's see if Gerrard can't drop another moat and shut down David Price's Fight Club. All right. Somebody just asked if it was possible to make the Open Series banner smaller and right cornered, and I believe the short answer is no. That's okay. So Fabiano drops a counterbalance. So now he has counterbalance and top down, and David's going to ignore the combo pieces and drop his Thrun using an Aether Vial, although Thrun would ignore it no matter what. Look how Fabiano's only running out basic lands right now, facing down that second wasteland of the game. There's a team swing here. I believe that's is that Terrorhor down there at the bottom? I can't see it, but we have a Tarmogoyf and a Thrun for sure, and a third creature, which I believe is a Terrorhor.
Sounds good at that, but since Cody left, I'm cool. I'll wait a couple minutes.
I mean, it looks like this is almost over anyway.
What's happening here? Too many guys on David Price's side? Is that...
Yeah, I mean, he's such a low life total.
It's like that counterbalance top isn't so good once the guys are already on the board.
Right. Yeah, that wasteland was key because he's got Day in his hand. So.
Is that a Plains in his hand, though? Or Caracas? It's Caracas.
Okay, so you could Day right here potentially. But if David vials out another creature, it's basically over. So Fabiano has the second white source to cast the Day. Let's see how David reacts to it. No, he got some moat. All right, never mind. I did not see the moat in his hand, so.
Did not.
Yeah. Well,
There's
well.
Force of Will.
Force of Will. Which.
I mean, he's got to have a 5 on top right now. That's basically.
He has to just blind flip too because he doesn't have the mana for the top. Flips.
Force of Will. Come on, do it, Miser.
Come on, Mize. Mize.
This is the time to do it.
Do it.
Judge Daniel.
This would be so epic if he has the force on
Right.
top.
This is his slow roll right here. There he goes. Nice shot.
Does he have?
He's trying. He's looking at the card. He's like, "What was the casting cost on that again?"
Well, he was hoping to
there.
slow roll a win here.
Yeah.
So
if it was a Force of Will, like I think he would have slammed it. But then again, he did mention slow rolling, so.
Players in $10 draft number 1. Please report the silence area where Judge Daniel is going to get you started.
does Fabiano have the force of will?
Is there anything else he even could have? Not that we wouldn't have seen it already. I think really he does not have it. How much Future Sight? Does that cost 4 or 5?
Oh my goodness! I think Future Sight costs 5.
He may have cited that out, but
Future Sight does cost 3 blue and 2.
That's what I thought. So it could be Future Sight. That may be why he was looking at it for so long. Like, how much is it? What is it? I can't even remember what this costs.
Oh my goodness. And he picks it up and extends his hand.
What was it? Any idea?
He just put it in his hand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't
what
get
it
to
was.
see. Oh.
That sucks.
Well.
I like the slow roll.
Yeah, nice slow roll by Fabiano there. If he could have dropped that moat, I think that would have been game over. I mean, that's obviously what happened last game, right?
But David Price has the force of will. Manages to take the win.